Bill Johnson right now with us, the Ohio Republican congressman, and what he makes now of this news that Pete Buttigieg will be visiting the town tomorrow. What do you think of that, Congressman?
Well, I think it's it's way late in the game. I talked to Secretary Buttigieg and I told him, leaders show up, and he hasn't been here, and that is sending a big signal to this community that the administration just really doesn't care. That's the message that they're receiving.
So, how do you feel things are going? We keep getting reassurances from authorities there that things are okay, the contaminant levels are fine, the water is fine, but it doesn't seem to be resonating with folks there. What do you tell them?
Yeah, it's hard to convince folks that have gone through a disaster like this that everything is okay, and I understand the skepticism. The one bright spot in all of this is the collaborative work between the federal EPA, led by Administrator Michael Regan, and the state EPA, led by State EPA Director Ann Vogel. They have worked hand in hand. I do believe the tests that they are running, both in the air quality and in the water quality, are valid. I trust the science. The city's water, the municipal water, has been tested many, many, many times and will continue to be tested, and it says that it's safe to drink. The air quality, they have been running air quality tests nearly around the clock and monitoring those, and the air quality is also fine. Residents who have private wells are encouraged to get those wells tested before they drink that water. And of all the well tests that have been done so far, those also have come back saying that they're fine. Residents can also get the air tested inside their homes. So there is some positive movement. But look, we're not going to take for granted, and we're not going to be dismissive about any of the concerns the residents here have. They get to determine when this finish line is reached. They get to determine when they're satisfied and when they're not.
So, Congressman, obviously the onus for dealing with all of this comes on Norfolk Southern, perhaps as it should. It was behind the derailment back on February 3rd. We're finding out a little bit more about Norfolk Southern's financial protections here and how much insurance it has to pay out. It could go as high as $800 million, or that it has the kind of coverage that could get that high. Assuming things stay as they are now, it seems that analysts who follow the company are confident that will be enough. There's no way of knowing. It's still early, to your point, sir. But what do you think of that? That when all is said and done, Norfolk Southern's overall obligations here will be under $1 billion?
Well, I can tell you that Norfolk Southern is on the hook to make this right. It was their accident. They caused this. The governor of Ohio, the governor of Pennsylvania, Administrator Michael Regan from the EPA, and I have said, and I believe that the CEO of Norfolk Southern also understands that they have a responsibility to make this right. So it's going to be a lot of money, but they've got to make it right. They are the ones that have to do this.
It seems to me, Congressman, you're a lot closer to this than I am, that the EPA has kind of taken over the role of, I don't know what you want to call it, but maybe the cleanup there. Obviously working in conjunction and calling the shots with Norfolk Southern. But do I have that right?
No, well, Norfolk Southern is actually doing the cleanup under the guidance of the EPA, both the state and the federal. But the EPA Administrator, Michael Regan, has made it very, very clear that they will, in fact, take over the cleanup if Norfolk Southern does not.
All right, and if Norfolk Southern does not, I think Michael Regan, the administrator, also said that and if the EPA has to do this, they will charge 3 times what it would have cost if Norfolk Southern had done what it was supposed to do. Is that right?
That I heard him say the same thing. So it would be in Norfolk Southern's best interest to do this.
Got it. Congressman, thank you very, very much. Bill Johnson, the Ohio congressman, sits on the Committee on Energy and Commerce, which, of course, is dead center in this whole battle here to see that this town gets back to what it was.